All right, welcome back. We are now on part 2 of the show, and we are talking about Musa Kida, the amiable president of Nigerian Basketball Federation. We got close to Musa Kida within the week, and he let us into the reasons why he is so energetic, the reasons why he has been doing very well for Nigerian basketball. Myself and Tony and my producer Tayo Gunshe were in his Ikoyi home, very palatial home. Tony, I think that was a good outing.
Yeah, it was. I think, George, one thing that is so interesting, so arresting, is that once you enter into his place, the very first thing you see is a basketball.
Welcome to the home of basketball.
A basketball. As in, immediately you come, it shows you, it embraces you, and you know that indeed this is a very peculiar place because science of basketball and everything. And I think that showing the type of passion the man has, for the game, not just because he's the president of Nigeria Basketball Federation. He has so much passion. Remember, he played the game, and of course, he also led us into knowing the power of a woman who controls him. And the woman dunks and, of course, dribbles him in the court and then makes him to shine.
All right, let's hear from the horse's part. But I was telling you that this interview was not almost going to hold because the policeman in Kida's home said Tony's temperature was reading 57 degrees before we took a second look at it. All right, enjoy the interview. So Tony, I have many children. When I count my basketball children, that is. So I'm very happily married to my wife Hawa. 4 wonderful kids. The first is a daughter called Yusra. She has a bachelor's in psychology. She's doing her master's in clinical psychology right now. And very soon she's going to go into the unemployment market. The second I have is it's a son of 17 who has a very strong personality. You can say, a vulture doesn't give birth to a dove, right? Yeah. No, he has a very good, strong personality, and I'm hoping that personality will serve him in the future. My third kid is about 12, 13. He's in secondary school. So we're all here, by the way. We're all in Nigeria. He's in secondary school. Again, he is somebody who is looking at examples that I set, examples that his brother set, and he's taking the best of them. So I'm quite happy with the way the young man is managing his life in a way. And then the last child I have is a daughter of 8, Tufaila. That's, she's the angel of the house, of course. I sometimes feel that I've started getting my coaching as a grandparent when I deal with her. It's obvious that if anybody wants anybody in the house, she's the person to come and sit on daddy's lap, and I can't say no. So I have a very wonderful family. I'm quite happy, very contented, and I thank God for that. For Hawa, and again, I think I'm a very lucky person to be married to such a wonderful wife. She has supported me in everything and anything I do. Everything and anything I do. To the extent that she has personally suffered and sacrificed for these sojourns, I would say, or my foray, my adventures in oil and gas and in sports and the private things that I do. She has been most supportive, and I term myself as one of the luckiest husbands on earth. So yes, I can claim Rivers State as my adopted state, just like I can claim Lagos in the last 6-7 years. I am from Borno State, so I'm from an enclave of a tribe called Babur, and the capital is Biu. That's the capital of the emirate, and I'm quite proud of that. Simply because our tradition, our culture of the Bura people is such that it puts a lot of value on communal living. I'm the first son of 30 kids that my dad had. So it's a whole clan, it's a whole village, and that's part of the responsibility that formatted my life. So I went to Federal Government College, Sokoto. Again, the best college ever in the world. Federal Government College, Sokoto. I know you will start arguing now, but it is, it is. Where of course you play for your house, you play for your school. I remember in those days in Sokoto would play against Giginya Memorial College. Now it's not Giginya, I think it's almost the university now or something like that. So one had a very first feel of it. When I finished, I went to again the best university in the world, ABU. And in ABU again, and there again I had the honor of being coached by people like Jonathan Chagu, by Oliver Johnson, OBJ. You hear OBJ and the likes of them. So I was in the university team for as long as I was in the university. That's from the early 80s to 1985 when I served. I also had the great privilege of leading the team in a way for I think 2 years, where I made and met a lot of my present colleagues that you see me discussing with sometimes about basketball. Of course, we throw back to the old times. Nationally, so I went for the World Universities Games in Romania. I represented. I was part of the team. I was also on the national team at the time. Akeem Olajuwon was playing for the country. Him and I actually we share a continental medal that we won in Angola. Again, that was the national team, and I did have overtures of going to the US to play basketball, but the luggage of tradition and culture, 30 kids my father had, was my primary focus. So I could not abandon them. But I did actually go, spent a few months and came back. So the call was very strong. I put it in a way that was not telling the whole story. When I tell you about kids, for me, my fundamental drive in being president of MBBF is actually to take basketball to each and every doorstep that I can in the country. I do a lot of things. So I have a basketball stand just outside. So sometimes.
Welcome to the game of basketball.
So that's what welcomes me every day. And sometimes I would get back home late. I will then enter the house much later. Mind you, I'll just take off my tie, take off my jacket, and then I start taking a few shots and that. I swim a lot too. Because for me that's one of the exercises that you can do, whether it's raining, whether it's hot, and whatever it is. So I do quite some swimming. The exercise I undertake to really clear my head when I have too many cobwebs is jog. So I'm a very fanatic jogger. Very slow though. If you see me, I'm sure walking you will overtake me, but I'm jogging, right? But I would jog upwards of 10 kilometers, once a week or twice a week if I can, and that keeps the heart pumping, and that clears the head in a very concrete way. I'm a very bushman when it comes to my food. So before I declare anywhere I go to in this world, and my friends know that the first thing I look for is where is a Nigerian restaurant. Wow. So I'm not into pizza, I'm not into all this. I'm a hardcore tuwo swallow. I'm a swallow addict. So anything swallow, of course, in the north is tuwo. Here is amala, gari, and all that, and the various soups. So I'm totally local when it comes to food. Local food is my best. I can eat it 3 times a day. That is basically what I do, what I will do, and I'm not exotic at all. I don't try out. It's too old for me to try out now, and I enjoy myself when I'm doing that. So sometimes I'm the only person who eats that food, but again, I enjoy myself doing that.
All right, welcome back. That was Engineer Musa Kida letting us into how he has been doing it, managing his home alongside managing Nigerian basketball. The man has been doing so well, and don't forget he is one of the Sportsville Award winners. Tony, Kida there for you.
There are so many things to learn from the man. First, he's a true Nigerian, very complete Nigerian, detribalized, a man who is so humble, and a man who, who gives at will. He's always ready to help, not minding where you come from. And of course, the man is a very humble man who mixes a lot, and everywhere to him in Nigeria is home.
Exactly.
Remember, the man spent
from
most
Port Harcourt to
most
Lagos.
of his time in Port Harcourt, Lagos. He's a Lagos boy. He's a Port Harcourt boy. He's the chairman of River State basketball. St. George, I've never. That is when we talk about this. It baffles me when somehow we begin to think or talk about North, South, East, and West. With somebody like Kida, I think he has defined what Nigeria should be.
All right, he has defined what Nigeria should be, but let me tell you this, only before we go, by the time Kida entertained us, Tony was beginning to wonder if his fridge was working, because everything we had there was not cold.
You made mention of his temperature before he came into the house, so I'm sure that must have altered some of
the truth is that, when you get to that pinnacle where Kida is, he's very mindful of his health. Everything he says, cold water is not good.
Exactly.
This one
cold drinks are not good.
Cold drinks are not good. You don't drink alcohol in his place. You don't do this. As in, just somehow it's good to be poor, because in poverty,
you take all of that.
In poverty, you are free.
All right. I must tell you that you see the other side of Kida. This is just part 1 of it. We'll continue with this exclusive interview we had with him.